Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a gear right now in the game, which is completely breaking Brawl Stars. It's really changing the meta a lot, and I can see this gear being nerfed pretty soon because honestly, it is so overpowered. So before we jump into the video, then make sure you're using a creator code. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, guys, jumping into the gear, which is breaking Brawl Stars right now. You guys probably already guessed it just by the gear, just in the title alone. It has to be the reload gear. So the reload gear is completely busted. I think it is definitely deserving of a nerf. I know it's pretty soon, it's a pretty new mechanic within the game, but I just think it's so incredibly OP. So for example, Eve definitely is a brawler that has been near the bottom of the meta. This reload gear, I think, is going to literally catapult her towards the top. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Eve as like a top 20 brawler within the meta just because of this reload gear. So if you guys are wondering on the numbers, 20% extra faster reload speed. This takes a brawler like Eve. Normally it's 1.6 seconds, I believe, every single reload, and it takes it to about 1.3. It's a little bit smaller than that, but in terms of rounding, 1.3. So 0.3 of a second quicker. May not seem like a lot, but trust me, whenever in the past there was like a reload speed buff to a brawler or a nerf, you can see, for example, Baron, right? He literally, I think he got like a 0.2 second reload speed nerf. I can't remember the exact, but he wasn't changed too much. People didn't think that this nerf would have done a lot, but it literally killed him from the meta. So imagine that in reverse. The buffs to all these brawlers is really going to make them a lot better in the meta, and I can already feel it with Eve. It's so much easier to connect the shots with Eve. You get shots so much quicker, and you pair this with her damage buff and also the damage gear as well, and she's going to be such a strong brawler. So this is one brawler. I won't really say it's breaking Brawl Stars right now, but with this reload gear, it's just absolutely insane. I just can't get over like a 20% buff. I feel like it should definitely go straight down to like 15%. Even like 10%. Honestly, I know gears should be somewhat strong for your brawlers. Like, you don't want a gear that's not noticeable, right? But at the same time, you don't want it game breaking, because else like you have this problem where people that are like power 11, they're just going to be so incredibly overwhelming for the opponents. So that is going to be the first brawler who is pretty OP with this brand new reload gear. Let's hop into the next one. Alright, guys, we're going to be jumping into the next brawler who is pretty insane with his reload speed gear. I've already talked a few times about Brock in the sneak peeks and also just in previous videos, but Brock again is a brawler which I think is going to really thrive with his brand new gear. So beforehand, he used to have a 2.1 second reload speed. With his 20% buff, it is now, I believe, 1.7 seconds. Again, only a 0.4 difference in terms of numbers, but when you play it in game, straight away you can feel this buff. He's definitely going to be a much stronger brawler within the meta. I don't think in any means he's going to be like completely OP, because sometimes it can be a little bit too easy still to hit his main attack projectile, but under the right circumstances, it's going to thrive even more so in game modes like Heist and Knockout, and I'm starting to see him used a little bit more. Like yesterday, I casted a Brawl League. If you guys were unaware, I'm starting to cast that Brawl League every single Wednesday on my Twitch channel at 6 p.m. CEST time. So a quick shout out to that one. But yeah, yesterday I actually seen him being played on Beach Ball. Like, I think Ruffs and Griff were banned out, so the only other wall break option was a Brock, and he actually stood his ground really well on a map like Beach Ball as well. Like, it's really closed quarters. I think he's going to be a super underrated pick within this meta, and if anything, as it goes on, he might even be one of the best brawlers within the game. We'll have to wait and see. Always with massive changes like this, normally takes about a week for the game to settle and really define the meta. So that's going to be another brawler who is starting to break the game literally just because of his gear. Let's hop into the next one. Alright, guys, so jumping into the brawler which I believe has received the biggest buff with this reload speed gear has to be Amber. So Amber is so terrifying within this meta. The reload speed buff is absolutely insane. So if you guys didn't know, I think Amber has like 40 projectiles per her big ammo bar, and basically it takes 8.8 seconds to reload that without the reload gear. But with this reload gear active, it takes it down to 7 seconds. Just 7 seconds. That's a 2-second reload speed buff overall with 40 pieces of ammo. That is just absolutely insane. Amber's just able to cycle her attack so much quicker, and for a brawler like Amber, because it's so easy to hit her shots and cycle kills so easily, it's really terrifying. I think this is definitely an overbuff for a brawler like Amber. I do agree that maybe she did deserve some type of reload speed buff just because it took so long for her to get. that full ammo back. But a whole 2 seconds for a full ammo, I think is just crazy. I think that's definitely an overbuff. Probably a little bit of an oversight by the Brawl team, if I'm honest, because this brawler is crazy OP right now. It's going to take a little bit of a while for the meta to just, as I said, but I just think everywhere, specifically like she's already becoming pretty meta, right? Even without this reload gear, she was already like one of the most used brawlers within the competitive meta, just because she was just flexible everywhere. Doesn't really have like a ton of proper counters in this meta, and now even more so. Now you're going to see her used even on the really aggressive maps. Like before, she was only really used on quite passive maps where you can build up your super, but now you can pretty much just use her everywhere. So I'm just going to run down this gear right here. You're going to see how fast this reload speed is. It's going to be literally 7 seconds to fully get back your ammo. That is just, it's crazy how that is. I can't remember what it used to be like before. Someone let me know down in the comment section below. Someone definitely knows what the numbers used to be before, when Amber used to be OP. What was the reload speed like then? Because I feel like it's actually even faster than before, when Amber was like the best brawler in the game. So that just goes to show like how crazy this buff is. So again, I'm gonna pop my gadget. Should be able to get this Leon down, just spamming auto aim. Like if you guys are unaware, like auto aim is definitely the best aim when it comes to Amber. There's not really any point manually aiming with Amber unless they're in a bush, of course. So going into overtime right here, should have a pretty easy job. The only brawler that really counters Amber in this composition is Leon, only if he gets close, but I'm going to get close to super pretty soon. I'm going to get my full ammo back by the time that overtime does hit. That should be Leon down. I'm going to try and catch Lola in the fire as well. She switches positions with the ego, but that didn't really do anything. It looks so funny when people use that gadget because I just think it's so terrible. It's got such a huge delay behind it. So I should be able to get the Lola down. My auto aim is switching between both of these brawlers, but literally everyone is weak. Hopefully Rolo can sweep things up. Just a Gale basically left on defense. I don't know what that Lola is doing in the bottom. I think she completely lagged out, but that's going to be another brawler which is just so incredibly OP with its reload gear. Let's hop into one final brawler. Alright guys, jumping into the final brawler, which I believe you should be looking to get a reload gear on because it's completely broken. It is Rico. So Rico already has a super fast reload speed. He has one of the fastest in the game at 1.2 seconds, but with his reload speed gear, it goes from 1.2 seconds to 1 second. So that is absolutely insane. Like, he's already a brawler that can shut off a lane so easily, and now with his reload speed buff, he's going to be an absolute monster. I mean, I don't really mind. Rico metas are always my favorite metas, as you guys probably know already, and now it's just so fun to play. I think that Rico meta is never really that toxic because you can counter him still pretty easily with any sort of brawler, like a Buzz for example, that can just latch onto him pretty quickly. But I just think it's so fun to play, and specifically on maps with a lot of walls where you can get a lot of pinches going. Unfortunately, Janet's probably going to land on top of us here. I was trying to get that gadget off in a better place so I can get a lot more healing, and it's looking like this is going to be probably the first L of the video. Of course, a lot of other brawlers are going to get a lot of value out of the reload gear as well. Brawlers like Griff are just so insane with the reload gear. Lola as well, although there is a small bug with Lola that her ego can't actually keep up with Lola's main attack reload speed buff, which is pretty funny. So I don't think Lola is as good as she could potentially be because of that little glitch. But yeah, it looks like we're all going to probably lose this one because randoms are just really frustrating at the moment. Every single game we try and get in, we do end up losing. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of the reload gear, whether it deserves any type of nerf. I'd say that pretty much straight away. But this gear needs like even 15%, even 10%. Like, that would still be a huge buff. You got to think of it, right? That's 20% extra DPS. Imagine that on like a high save, for example. I think it's just a bit too unfair considering only 10 brawlers have this gear. Maybe when there's like more gears introduced in the future, it will start to balance out. But for right now, these 10 brawlers are just so much, I wouldn't say better, but that's such a big advantage than any other brawler. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.